Yes, perfect. So yeah, welcome everyone. Sorry, I thought you were hearing me. So welcome every new person. And huge welcome to everyone. So we are live here on Discord and we are live on to discuss the updates on the Carbonable project. Today the subject will be the yield simulator to the recap of the testnet activity, bridging from Juno to StarkNet for our older for our orders from the previous mint that we did on Juno before switching to StarkNet, and the recap on the Pioneer batch happened on the yesterday. So welcome everyone, welcome Guillaume, welcome Arnaud. I don't know if you guys want to rapidly introduce yourself for the new guys.
Absolutely. Thanks, Roman, for the intro. Very happy to see the community growing. Most welcome to everyone. It's really a pleasure to see this community growing. It's great because as you know, it's really nature helps you. The more we are, the more we'll help nature. So it's really cool to see that. I'm Guillaume. I'm one of the two co-founders of Carbonable, and yeah, so basically leading the Carbonable journey, and yeah, happy to introduce you to Carbonable a bit more, especially for the ones who are discovering Carbonable, and to jump into the topics that you've laid out already.
Thank you, Guillaume. And Arnaud, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself rapidly also.
Yes. Hello, everybody. So Arnaud, I'm technical lead of Carbonable, and I will present you the bridging process to bridge your NFT from Juno to StarkNet network.
Perfect, thank you. So quick recap on the maybe first start on the mint that happened yesterday. Yeah, huge engagement from you guys. So do a lot of made a lot of noise, and it drew a lot of. So we'll try to explain the project rapidly, so everyone can understand better what is Carbonable for and what are the long-term objectives of the project, and then we will switch to the updates on the project maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guillaume, you can. Yeah,
so
perfect.
I can go with that. Also, I wanted to say, if you guys have any questions during the live, please actually ask those questions. We're more than happy to answer those. So to give a little bit of feedback on what Carbonable is, why, etc., we'll go point by point. So roughly, if we sum it up, Carbonable is the best tool to drive and manage investments in what we call nature-based carbon removal projects. So what are nature-based carbon removal projects? Those are projects that are based on nature, that help either prevent the destruction of nature or regenerate nature. And by doing so, those projects actually help absorbing carbon or avoiding carbon emissions, and by doing so, they generate what we call carbon credits. So then you would say, so okay, what is the use of investing in those carbon removal projects? Well, there are two main uses, if we would say, but based on the fact that you will get carbon credits. So the idea is, okay, these carbon projects, once you actually invest in those, you will harvest a certain number of carbon credits every year continuously during the entire lifetime of the project. So concretely, with our first projects, for example, every quarter or every month, you will get a certain quantity of carbon credits based on the amount of money that you've invested in those projects. And what you can do with those carbon credits, what is the use of those carbon credits? Well, there are two main uses. The number one is actually retire those carbon credits to contribute to climate neutrality. So what we commonly call offset. So you use those carbon credits to offset emissions. Now, you have a second option, which is you resell those carbon credits. And when I say you, it's not you. We do so, Carbonable, but we resell carbon credits and for profit purposes, which means that it exposes you to an important yield that is based on forecasts from Bloomberg, McKinsey, etc. Can be really interesting. We'll see that in the future of this talk. But concretely, it means like you invest in those projects, you receive carbon credits that you can use for offsetting purposes or for profit purposes. It's up to you, and we leave that choice to the users. Now, why does Carbonable exist? So overall, if we take a little bit of distance, the overarching goal, the overall goal, is to catalyze the regeneration of nature. In the context of climate change, emergency, those the nature-based projects, they have been identified by IPCC, which is the International Climate Agency. They've been identified as key in the fight against climate change. So we need to demultiply those projects. So that's the overall goal. Now, more pragmatically, we also offer a new green investment opportunity to all. So that's why we exist, to offer anyone here the opportunity to invest in those projects. And last but not least, we offer also like the best climate contribution tool for companies to execute their net zero strategy. So that's something that we've developed and that we're still developing, but we realize that what we're doing is really, really helpful for companies and solve some of the main issues. And so if I go further, so you have like the entire picture, how do we do so? So how do we allow everyone to invest and are the best tool for companies? So what we do is we convert projects, so those nature-based projects, we convert them into digital assets. So what does that mean? It means, for example, you have a project that costs $1 million. Instead of saying, hey, we need like one funder to put $1 million on the table, we split that project in several digital assets. For example, in that example, let's say 10,000 pieces of $100. And by doing so, and leveraging blockchain technology, we resolve three of the most important problem in this market. Number one is accessibility, because when we do this, we offer anyone the opportunity to invest with $100. Pretty much, let's say, like we open the doors of this investment to pretty much everyone. Second and third, which are at least as important, are transparency and traceability. And those represent the best shield against greenwashing, which is one of the biggest problems in this market. So that's how we do so, by leveraging blockchain technology. And last, and then happy to answer any question, is like, okay, but what is concretely then an NFT, a Carbonable NFT? So concretely, an NFT is a share in this project. So that's what I said, like 10,000 pieces of $100. So it means that there are 10,000 shares in this project. And each share is sort of a carbon removal engine, if we can say so. It means it will capture a given quantity of carbon credits year after year that you can then use, as we said, for profits purposes or for offset purposes. So that's really like the mindset of Carbonable, is help nature help you. Do good for the planet, and it will also do good for the wild. That's pretty much like the idea here. But I hope all this has been well understood. Happy to actually clarify any of the points that are not.
Yeah, perfect introduction as always. Thank you. Quick updates. So now on the minting from yesterday. So as I'm checking right now, we got like more than 4,000 whitelisted people to get the badge. So everyone who got whitelisted can mint the badge. So you need to be on the mainnet, on the Carbonable app, and on your wallet. Then you will be able to see the mint page. So basically, there are now actually 1,480 people who minted the badge right now. Ooh. So yeah, it's a lot of people. Basically, we thought that there were more bots or more airdrop hunter on the whitelist, but seems like no. So it's a really good point for the project and for the community.
It's awesome.
Yeah, really, really nice. And rapidly, so the badge, as you all are asking now, and legitimately, that's what are the uses of the badge. So we are currently discussing the uses and the utilities with the team. So one will be revealed next week from today, so on the 18th I think. So do not worry, they are coming. It's not a scam. Stay with it and keep it safe. Yeah. So another thing about the badge is that for the people that just joined, we stopped delivering them because we were like really surprised that there was so much batch that we have had to whitelist. So we put a stop right now, and we are thinking of a second wave of those batches, but we are not sure yet how and when it will be. But there probably will be some quest to do to claim it like the first time. Yeah, so that was about the mints. Maybe Arnaud, you want to give us some word on the bridge and the context of this bridge? You're muted, Arnaud. If you're, I don't know if you can hear me well.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
I have a slide. How can I share it?
Okay, so yeah, just share, and I will try to do my best to switch at the same time as you.
And just contextually speaking, guys, just so you know, like this is like Carbonable is not born like he's born actually since a few months. We actually sold out like two first projects on the blockchain on Cosmos blockchain, and more precisely Juno. And so the bridge is about this. Is about like previous investors who actually already invested in Carbonable projects, already acquired NFTs, and what's going to happen. So just wanted to lay down the actual like what are we talking about?
So do you hear me well?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Perfect. So I will present you the bridging process to bridge your NFT from Juno to Starknet. So first of all, as a recap, there are two projects which was found on Juno ecosystem, which are Banegas Farm and Las Delicias. So this will be these two projects you will be able to bridge from the Juno network to the Starknet network. So first of all, what you need to have set up to be able to bridge your NFTs is a Starknet wallet. So you have, at the moment, there are two wallets, ArgentX and Bravos, who are available. This wallet needs to be set up on the Alpha Mainnet network from Starknet. So the Alpha Mainnet is the mainnet of Starknet. So you need to create a wallet, ArgentX or Bravos, both of them work. And you need to add a fund on this wallet. So you need to bridge Ethereum from Ether 1 to Starknet on this wallet to be able to receive and using the NFT you will mint on the Starknet network. So this is a requirement to do it. And when you will have your wallet, your Starknet wallet, this is the bridging process. So it will be done in 3 steps. The first step is to connect your two wallets, your Kepler wallet from the Juno network and the Starknet wallet from the Starknet network. On the front end, we will give you to bridge. In the second step, what you will need will be to burn your NFTs from the Juno ecosystem. To do it, you will need to connect to the Kepler wallet on the front end, sign the transaction to send it to the Carbonable admin wallet from the two projects. One of the two projects you found on the Juno network. And when the burn are done, you will be able to do the third step, which is mint the NFT you burn on Juno, mint them on the Starknet ecosystem. To do it, you will still need to be authenticated with your Kepler wallet and your Starknet wallet on the front end. You will have a button which is called mint. When you will click on the mint button, you will need to sign with your Kepler wallet the address of your Starknet wallet, which will receive your NFTs. All of this is automatic, so you will just have to sign the the transactions. You don't need to put manually the wallet. It is automatically detected by connected your Starknet wallet. And when you will put the button to mint, what Carbonable will do, it will receive the transaction, verify that you are the owner of the Kepler wallet by verify the signature of your Starknet address. Then we will verify that it was you, Kepler wallet, who burn the NFT on the Juno wallet. And when we will had when we will when all the verification will be done, then we will mint you the NFT on the Starknet network, on the Starknet smart contract project, and you will receive the transaction hash of the different mints, and then all your NFTs will be available in your new Starknet wallet on the Alpha mainnet. And this bridging is coming really imminent. So do not hesitate to set up your Starknet wallet, because in the next day we will announce the bridge. So this is all for me. So if there are any questions.
Yeah, there is one question about the bridge, and there are other questions that we will take them at the end. We didn't for the switching, so I can.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, perfect.
And just to reassure you guys, there will be like a sort of a how-to article that be done also.
And okay, so there are two questions. So is bridging mandatory for our previous holder? So like, what happens if you let your project on Juno?
So can you?
Yeah. What will happen?
What happens if they don't bridge?
Yeah.
Sorry, you speak. But...
Yeah. It's just like if they don't bridge, basically they won't be able to farm their NFTs.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. All the future development of Carbonable decentralized infrastructure will be built on Starknet. So you need to bridge your NFTs from Juno to Starknet to have access in the future of the farming systems.
Yeah, thank you. And there are another question from there is secondary market planned right after bridging to Starknet? So basically, when we are bridging from Juno to Starknet, will the project be available on the marketplace?
In fact, I don't know if I have the right to say it, but yeah, of course I have the right to say it. The day of the success of the bridge, so the day you will receive your NFTs on your Starknet wallet, you are able to sell it on the already existing marketplace on Starknet. Yes.
Okay, so you're telling me that the previous holder that mints on Juno will be the first one to have the Carbonable NFT available to sell on the marketplace?
Exactly.
Even
if they want so, right?
Yeah. That's what I was going to. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you for. Well, maybe we could do a small recap on the testnet that we launched. I think like now 2 weeks ago, right? Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of people that used the testnet. Actually, I have some numbers from one of our testnet NFT that was the most accessible and the cheaper with the testnet ETH. Yeah, thank you. And on this one, we had more than 40,000 mints and with almost 20,000 wallets. So really huge success on the testnet launch right now. Yeah, I don't know, guys, if you want to add something to the testnet launch.
I mean, as you said before, and with the badges, I'll repeat myself here, but really like just humbled and really honored that actually like we sort of generate this momentum with the community growing. It's awesome. Thanks a lot to actually Arno and all the tech team to build this awesome tool. You'll see like much more is in the back burner. We have like plenty of features that we'll release, one after one. We'll keep actually communicating about those. Roman does a great job at communicating like one feature after the other. We really want to just build like the best investment tool for carbon removal and to invest and manage your assets. So that's really like the end goal here, both for actually like investors and for offsetters, and we're committed to do so. So all welcome all feedbacks that you have to improve potentially the product, or any suggestions that you might have about like, hey, would be awesome to have this feature or that feature, etc. So please actually provide them, because that's how also we'll improve. We're heavily community based, and so all feedbacks are welcome.
You can all put your feedbacks on the testnet on the suggestion channel in the Discord. We are checking it as often as we can. Small question before we move to the yield simulator. A question from Yosuo. Sorry for the username pronunciation. Why are you moving from Juno? I don't know if Guillaume, you want to answer it, or Arno, or both.
Well, I'll provide one angle, and then Arno, you can complete. But I think there's been different elements that led us to move. First thing first is that what was preventing us originally to not like to choose like Ethereum based technology was the proof of work. In a way, we wanted to be really like energetically really low in terms of consumption, so we wouldn't like to move towards like this type of technology. So we've waited for the technology to move towards proof of stake. On that end, actually, like Starknet is one of the most energetically efficient technology, because of like ZK technology that reduces by even like 200 times proof of stake. So we get to a point where this is a really performing technology. On top of that, like moving towards Ethereum network or layer is also because it provides like all the security aspect, a big TVL. There are many of elements that actually are interesting by going there, and Starknet resolves also like the main pain points that Ethereum had. And so we are really bullish on the technology itself, on Starknet, everything it brings to the table, including like a very strong user experience that we will soon experience also with account abstraction. So there are plenty of elements that led us towards Starknet, more so than that told us to move away from Cosmos. And also, in all transparency, we are partnering with Starknet. So Starknet is one of our partners. There will soon be, I think, an official announcement on that front. But obviously, we're true believers in this technology, and they're in our product. So it's really like a teamwork.
Thank you for the. We got some question.
Arno,
Arno,
do you want?
Just to add two things. The first one is what we saw is the Ethereum ecosystem and the large ecosystem with all the layer 2 are where we found the most innovative decentralized application. So what we want is to be able to connect to these innovations, and it's easier to do it by being on a layer 2 on this Ethereum ecosystem than on Juno. So this is one of the reason. A second reason is what is specific to Starknet. It's bring scalability and will bring privacy for the privacy and more decentralized efficiency in the next months, next years, and we want to be a part of these features.
Okay. Arno, I think you are muted on Discord, so the people on Discord couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I changed. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Can you repeat it shortly?
I repeat shortly. So two additional reasons. The first one is Ethereum, and all the layer 2 of Ethereum are where we find the most innovative decentralized application and usage, and we want to be part of it. And the second reason why specifically Starknet is for the scalability and scalability and anonymizations system it will bring for the next months, next years, and we want to bring these features to the community.
Thank you a lot. So yeah, we got a lot of questions, but maybe we'll just finish the main topics of this community call, and then we'll answer like a short MA at the end of the community call, if that's all right for you guys. Yeah. Then maybe we can move on to the yield simulator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Absolutely. So should I share my screen? Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I will
Perfect.
just change at the same time as you.
Perfect. Done.
Perfect.
Awesome. So I don't know if you see like the URL, but anyway, that's our dev environment, right? So you will see that soon enough on the website we will actually launch. We'll add one major piece, which is the actual like the what we call the yield simulator, but it's also the offset simulator, right? We think it's important. Why? Because as an investment opportunity, we want to provide as much transparency as possible, and we want to empower anyone to take like its own decisions based on the elements that are provided here. We'll, as any investment solution, we'll provide also like some disclaimers. It's obvious, like those numbers come from the latest reports from Bloomberg, NEF, and McKinsey, but we aren't like gurus or so to predict what will, like how will evolve the market in the next 20 or 25 years. So we take information from the different researches that have been done on and forecasts that have been done by consulting companies such as Bloomberg, NEF, McKinsey, like some of the two biggest standards here, and we provide those numbers into like our business model. And so the idea here is just like to empower anyone to take a decision based on the latest data available on the market, and to have a sense of what does that mean, because we realize that actually like a lot of people didn't quite get like the timing and the actual like amount or percentage. They couldn't represent it clearly. So the idea here is we made it really simple. And one other disclaimer that I'll do right after is that we base this model of evolution of the price based on what we call a linear model of carbon credits. So to make it simple, we assume here that let's say.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you press F11?
F11.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
You did?
Yeah, I did it.
Oh, okay.
What's happening?
Just Arno telling me to not really share this URL, but it's alright, I guess.
Okay. So what I was saying is, what we are doing here is really like we take like a linear capacity assumption. So it means if your overall NFT, let's say, will generate, I don't know, 20 tons of carbon in 20 years, what we say here is going to be, okay, it's going to be 1 ton per year during the 20 years of the project. So it's just like linearly the same amount of carbon credits every year. Now, the truth is, in the market, and you will see it, like we will provide transparency on this, depending on projects, and that's what we explain also on Medium. Depending on projects, the curve of capacity is not linear. It can be an S, so it starts a bit slow at the beginning. It increases a lot in the middle of the project because there's a big speed of growth in terms of like trees and whatnot, and then at the end it goes a little bit slower as well. So it's more like an S than really like a linear one. But here, to make it simple and to because we cannot have like 1 turnkey, like we cannot have one assumption for all projects. So here, like the one that we think is the most understandable is the linear one. So that's how is based our model here. So we'll put actually a clear sentence here before releasing on the main website, because we want actually everyone to have this in mind, that this is a linear model. Now, the idea is really simple. Here, what we say is, okay, if you invest $100 based on the current forecast from Bloomberg and McKinsey, what it means for a project that is 30 years long, because projects, as you know, they vary from 20 to 30 years. So you can actually like adjust the duration of the project. If you like on a 30-year project, you will, based on current forecast, you will get a 26% average APR. So it's an estimated average APR through the entire lifetime of a project, and an overall amount revenue of $700+. Now, if you take like the very same amount of money on a project that is 20 years, what it means is like these projects will generate a bit less amount of revenues because it's shorter period of time. That said, it will have a stronger APR because the capacity, the absorption capacity is going to be stronger. So just to provide you like a little bit of a sense of why do those elements evolve based on duration. And then here you have like the three scenarios. By default, it's the base scenario. So it means like that's the average scenario based on the latest forecast. But you can see also what the worst scenario that they're pointing out is, and what the very best scenario that they're pointing out is. And then based on this, you can take a decision on or it can influence the decision that you might take on the next available projects that we will fund recently. So I think here is really like a brief and concise introduction to the yield. The offset simulator is a bit similar. It's just like in terms of like how many dollars you will invest is how many tons of carbon do you want to absorb annually on average. So let's say your yearly carbon number of tons of carbon to offset yearly would be 10 tons of carbon. So then it gives you like the amount of money that you will save actually through the entire lifetime of the project, and the average yearly cost that you will save on this project. So we just invite you, if whenever we actually provide this tool, obviously it's just like for advice purposes only, but the idea is just to provide as much clarity and transparency that is possible, and I think that's about it.
Thank you a lot for this presentation. Oh wait, can we please? Okay, okay, perfect. So yeah, we had a lot of questions, a lot of subjects.
You have echo, Roma.
I have echo?
Yeah, you are not mute on Google Meet.
Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, we had a lot of questions, as I was saying. I don't know if Arnaud, you want to add something to the yield simulator or not really?
No, nothing to add.
So before we are switching to the MA, we will take 15 minutes to answer your question, and before that we will tell you the code to complete the quest on the Q3, because yeah, there is a quest that every time we do a community call, we are clicking. Yeah, tell me. And
do a little bit of teasing for the people present as well.
Yeah, maybe the teasing before the code. Yeah. I let you do the teasing because I'm not sure I'm
right now. Yeah. About the questions. Yeah, so we won't provide all the information right now, but a new project is going to be available very soon to actually celebrate the launch on Start and Mainnet. So when we mean very soon, is actually like really soon. We'll start the communication very in the next maybe as of tomorrow, maybe I don't remember. Tomorrow, the day after, we start like the communication about it.
Tomorrow
but you will see there will be perfect. So there will be like a bunch of small questions that will allow you to actually get some whitelist spots, etc. But very, very exciting project. I'm super pumped about this project. This project is going to be a prime project with both like ecological super strong impact in terms of carbon, a very strong impact in terms of biodiversity, helping actually preserve 5 species, very important, and super important also in terms of local community impact. So really pumped about this project, and super glad to actually have the StartNet mainnet active after the badge, active with the launch of a new project. Can't wait to disclose more information about this, but I think this was the small teaser. Can't wait to tell you more.
Thank you a lot, Guillaume. Yeah, there is of course question now about the mint, like in which country will be, but every step, I don't know how to say it in English. We'll announce it in time.
One step after the other.
Yeah, thank you.
One step at a time.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. So yeah, this is the kind of question we will be asking you on our Twitter. So you can probably guess, and if you guess right, maybe win some whitelist, something like that. We need to figure it out completely before. Yeah, step by step. Thank you, Fred. So yeah, maybe we can go to the questions right now. So let's take the first question we had, so we do it in time. Oh, sorry, the code before. Yeah, right. So the code for the quest, to complete the quest and gain some XP on the crew tree, is capture the carb. So in one word, so no space, capture the carb. I repeat, capture the carb. Okay, perfect. So now that the code is out of the way, we can move on to the question. So two questions from G.A. Lecasey. What are your plans to increase interest in the project before entering the mainnet? So yeah.
Well, various elements. Number one is actually like I think the one that we just presented before the launch on the mainnet with the first project is going to be very important. Because this is a prime project. We have actually also like just in full transparency, we have also like companies investing in this project. So it's going to be a shared investment opportunity between companies and individuals. So it's good because like the trust that companies put in those projects is added value, let's say, to those projects. And obviously we still want to leave those investment opportunities open to the community. So it means also like that the seats, let's say, for the funding will be limited, and so I think it will create obviously a bit of momentum here in terms of like interest for the project. Then we're taking part of several meetings and events. So we're going to be part of the next Darkware event. Main event actually that's going to be in February. We're going to be we're going to be as part of the panel on sustainability. We are providing much more features. One of them is going to be the farming, and obviously, as you guys can imagine, as soon as first investors will start getting the yield from their first investments, the word is going to spread out that yeah, this is like 100% true project where yield is coming on and whatnot, and this will generate interest as well. So those are some elements, but obviously like we move forward with the overall marketing and strategy. Also, we'll announce the fundraising that we just closed. We closed the fundraising at the end of last year, and we will announce it theoretically at the end of January. And so obviously there will be some media talking about it, etc. So all in all, it's just like we have like a strong marketing plan, and we'll execute it like step by step as discussed before.
Yeah, thank you for the answers. Just to small precision on the code, it's full lowercase, so capture the carbs full lowercase.
The carbs.
The carb, just no Z, no B.
Okay.
Just B, but no Z. Yeah.
Just B. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So next question, let's get that. It's do you have plans to launch ambassador programs? I think for the projects.
Very interesting question. We're thinking like the answer is it won't be yes, absolutely right now and whatnot, but absolutely it's interesting. We're thinking of the best way to execute this. We have already like what we call like BizDev ambassadors, let's say. So like actual like team member or community members that help on the B2B front, so company wise. We are thinking about it also in terms of projects, but more so, I think the vision and Arno can also expand on this is at some point like Carbonable to be fully decentralized. So that's let's say like the end goal, the end idealistic goal is to get as close as possible from a fully decentralized version of a company, and in this journey, obviously like there will be like different let's say roles that will be made available to the different community members and that will be part of the overall Carbonable ecosystem. And to do this, it will require also like our utility token. So this utility token, we've already worked on it, but strategically speaking, we prefer to actually focus first on the very fundamentals of what Carbonable business is and what we do. So that's why we focus first on this. We execute with excellence, and then when time comes, when the market also is better, and when we are fully like mature on the core business model, we will also expand on the utility token side, and this will lead towards like much more opportunity on the roles front. I hope this was a fairly clear answer. If you guys want more precision, by all means, and Arno, if you want to add anything, by all means as well.
It's good to me. There's nothing to add for the moment.
Perfect. Okay, so
But I'll close actually on that model. If you have something in mind precisely, go talk to Roma or us on Discord.
Feel free to open a ticket in the support
Exactly.
channel, and we will check it out as soon as we can. There have been a lot of tickets waiting. As the mint yesterday, it was a lot of question. Next time we will provide some tutorial before. It would be better for everyone, I think. So next question is quite an interesting question actually. For a lot of people here, I think you will be interested. So do testnet user will get any perks or airdrop in the future?
Short answer is we'll think of the best way that's going to be a true win-win for everyone. So there's no clear answer right now. We're thinking about like the best way to make it a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, do not forget that using the testnet, you could claim the Carbonable badge, and this will give you future utilities too. So everything's kind of linked right now.
Yeah, I think this is the main, let's say, Romain, actually, thank you for precising this. I think this was like one of the main outcome. That said, again, like we're overall thinking about like the best ways to thank early comers, and so yeah, it's part, like the badge is part of it. We'll see if there be other aspects of it.
Yeah, and I think it's healthier for the project to not airdrop everyone that uses the testnet, because using a testnet is quite easy for airdrop hunters or bots. And I said there were like more than 20,000 users on the testnet and wallet. So if we need to airdrop everyone, like I think that would be like a step backwards from the project. Instead
we just need to like think strategically on what needs, like what is actually worth being thanked for real, what and so it's just a strategic answer, and we don't have yet like the exact answer.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we will see, but there are already stuff. So another question from Weierstrass. about the project itself. How does the insurance work, and what will happen to the project once it's finished? So like after the 30 years. Sorry.
So let's start with what will happen after. So what will happen after? What will happen after is pretty easy. Is in terms of carbon offsets, it's done. Like in carbon, like contributions, it's done. There's no more. That said, the project is mature enough to be to not involve any human activity anymore. So that's roughly the meaning of a duration. It means like that's the duration that is required for the project to be fully fully grown up, let's say, and no more human activity needed. So that's really like the mindset behind having a duration of a project. We are not the one setting the duration. Duration is the certifier. So the certifier is the one will actually calculate the amount of years that is required. So based on the essence that is being used, based on the location, based on many criteria, this duration will change. So you will see projects of 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, etc. And after that, so no more carbon credits, but the project will be like fully healthy and autonomous in a way. So that was the first question. Second question was about I don't remember.
About the insurance of the projects.
But the insurance about the project. So as it works right now, like our all the projects that we offer as funding, they have like what we call like an insurance pool. So it's the certifier itself, and this is a common way that like the certifiers work is for every project they have like a quantity that is certifiable. So let's say 80%, and 20% that is actually a pool, a security pool. And this security pool is used exactly in terms of like incidents. So what if this forest, like what if this project turns out to be dead at some point for any reason, a fire burn, the people involved not working anymore, etc. There are plenty of reasons. So the idea is like the certifier is sort of the guarant that this project will actually happen. And if it doesn't, the certifier will actually take this buffer to compensate what has not been executed. And so if the full project doesn't happen, which it cannot happen, because in general, like at least like the project has been running for at least some time before it stops. But anyway, let's say 80% indeed has to be replaced. What they will do is that they will take actually buffers from very similar projects. So it won't be exactly the same, but it will be like as similar as possible projects that will generate those similar carbon credits. And so the idea here is to make it simple. So far, like the actual certifiers are taking responsibility for those type of events. In the future, we're actually already starting to think about like insurance services to actually prevent from even like natural disaster, because natural disaster is, for example, is one event where in the majority of the contracts that you will sign, there will be like a clause that will be like accept natural disaster, and so that as well we're taking into consideration to have like a dedicated insurance system, but that's in the thinking, because right now like the certifier is taking the huge majority of the risk.
Thank you. I hope this was clear for you, Weierstrass. It was pretty clear. Yeah, so we have two linked questions. So we have one question from Fred. Do you have any competitors doing the same thing as you? First one.
So that's fun because we've been doing, it's not that fun, but I mean, we've been doing like a lot of, competitive analysis, obviously. And so have been doing like the investors that have invested in us. To be quite frank, we have like a niche positioning, which is not explored as we know and as our investors know. Of course, as you know, I think there is a saying which means when you think about something, 7 people in the world think about the same thing. Like, let's say when you plan like your first entrepreneurship journey, already 7 people are working on the same thing. So ultimately, maybe there are some initiatives that have like the very same positioning, but not to our knowledge. And to make it more concrete, on the Web3 front, so on the blockchain front, any blockchain-based projects, the ones that we know, they don't tokenize the projects, they tokenize the carbon credits. And this is a huge difference. We tokenize the projects because we want to streamline the investments. We want to streamline the generation of the carbon credits, not the selling of the carbon credits. So it's a really different approach and a really different goal. And it has indeed not much to compare. And so that's why, like on that space, at least to our knowledge, we're the first one. Now, on the off-chain front, there are competitors that offer, let's say, investing in carbon removal projects, but those are off-chain, and so by default, you as an individual, you cannot really like take part of those funding because your cut would be way too low for them to consider you as an investor, except if you come on the table and you say, hey, I have $1 million to invest. So that is a huge differentiator, but also like anything that provides blockchain technology are key differentiators. As I said before, transparency and traceability, those are 2 key elements that off-chain you can't really provide. And that's like the greenwashing exposure to those type of investments is really huge, and without the use of the blockchain, it's even bigger. So it's just like we solve this big problem, and we solve others like liquidity. Liquidity is one big element that off-chain investors don't have. If you invest in this project, you invest for the entire lifetime of the project. You cannot say 15 years later, hey, I don't want any more of my shares. Whereas here in Carbonable context, you can actually resell your digital assets. So plenty of competitive advantages on this front. So to make it short, Web3 wise, not that we know of, and off-chain wise, so plenty of advantages with Web3 on the investment front, and actually also on the management front, we think we're the first, and we think we're the only ones as of today. So that's why also we are onboarding some big companies on that front, because they're really seduced by the fact that it's not only investing, it's also managing your assets. So once you've invested, when will you receive the several carbon credits? Having like a clear idea of how you manage your supply of carbon credits, etc., is something that so far is not really provided by the existing solutions. So I think it was a complete answer.
Yeah, pretty clear. And the question linked to that was like, have you heard of Clima.dao? And they are also building digital carbon credit infrastructure. But as you said, we are not just digitalizing carbon infrastructure. We are providing a complete solution.
And also, like, to come back to Climate.dao, they've been actually discussed, let's say, in terms of legitimacy in the quality of the project that they've based their business model on. So that's one, like, let's say, in terms of like end goal, I think there are some differences at least. But also, again, like, to take it very clear, Climate.dao, what they do is they tokenize carbon credits. So they say, okay, there are carbon credits today, we tokenize them, and you can and you can trade them. So that's basically what it is. What we do is we are one step before, and we say, okay, there is a project to be funded. So the carbon credits don't exist at this point. Like, this project needs funding, and so needs funding to generate carbon credits. And so we're one step before, and we tokenize the projects. We don't tokenize the credits. And so that's a huge difference.
Right. There are still 5 or 6 questions. Is it okay for you guys to take 5 more minutes after 7 or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'll try to be more concise on the answers.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you both. So, quick question, interesting question on the first project. So, LKY45. is asking, as today, what has been the ROI for the NFT holders of the two projects?
Yeah, so farming hasn't started yet because testnet, because the start to build the feature, because actually, yeah, we moved from Cosmos to Starknet, and that wasn't like, let's say, the easiest move on earth. So all of that to say, like, the farming hasn't started yet. That said, we will actually start the farming very soon after the mainnet launch. So again, like, don't want to commit to the date as of today on this call, but really rest assured that it's going to be really soon. And at this time, we will actually like provide all the yield at this front. And to give you an idea is just like we realized, even in terms of like a funding opportunity, that the price of the funding opportunities has increased, like a good percentage between the time we funded the first projects and the time we are funding the next projects. So it just confirms that indeed the overall market is raising.
Maybe to reassure the previous holder, can you tell something about like the retrospectiveness of the yield?
Yeah, so it will take place. Obviously, like you will get like as soon as the carbon credits have been emitted, which means the elements that we've provided on Twitter. So it's going to be like it was actually officially 6 months after the investment, as we announced at the beginning, and as it has been. So rest assured on this.
I think it's simple. Yeah, sorry, Arnaud.
Coming back to the farming and to commit from a technical point of view from the team, the farming should become around February. We cannot commit for a release date exactly, but it's really soon, as it will be for during the next month. To give you a time lapse.
Thank you for the precision. I think it will be a relief to do that for the community. There's other question. So, like, rapidly, can you elaborate on the relation with Starknet? Do you get good support from the team, or
So
any fundings?
So there will be more visibility announced by the end of the month or early February with the press release. That's their partners, so that's an official word. Like, they're partners in what we're doing, and we have also like team members heavily connected with the ecosystem, and yes, so we have a direct relationship with them.
Okay, perfect. The rewards from the farming process, will it be in stablecoin?
Most likely, yes.
Yeah.
That's like, let's say, most likely, yes. That's the end goal. Definitely, we want to go stable coins and stable coins only, because it's part of the value proposition that we say, and we think is going to be. It's just there is a slight percentage of chance that maybe the very first one is going to be Ethereum, but we want to go full stable coins as soon as possible.
And could you imagine in the future to let people choose what their reward would be in currencies like they want?
Ideally, yes. Now, Arnaud, I leave it up to you, as technically you're the master.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, yeah, I'll let you.
Is there going to be a way, technically speaking, at some point that people can choose which cryptocurrency they would like to get the reward with?
From technical point of view, at the moment, no. It will be stablecoin, which is chose, and we will provide more information about which stablecoin we will use to reward. So at the beginning, I can say no. We put it on our roadmap to think about how can we securely bring the possibility to choose the road, because in a simple way, if there are multi stablecoin, it means less liquidity so more complexity to manage it.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Four questions left. Do you have enough projects in your pipeline to absorb potential big customers' demands?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's clear answer. Short and sharp, as we like it. Carbonable's. A word on Carbonable's competitiveness compared to other projects of the StarkNet ecosystem.
To make it simple, we see really the StarkNet ecosystem as being, it might sound cheesy, but sort of a family. Really, we have strong interactions with the different StarkNet builders. It's really a builder community. So it's more like, actually, I see it more as like collaboration than real competition, to be honest. There is like, we don't have this feeling at all. There's no feeling of a competition in the StarkNet ecosystem, and that's actually huge, and that's great. So that's, I think, the fair and honest answer. And B, our positioning, as we were saying, on Web3 overall, I think on blockchain overall has no competitor, we think. So I think on StarkNet even less, right? But yeah, that's in short, that's what it is.
Yeah, the project's pretty unique. I mean, like we were like building a DEX and there were like two others, like we could answer like more precisely, but like there's no really point to think of as today. Next question. Tomorrow, beyond fundraising and other financial participation, is it possible to go further in the involvement, such as participating as a volunteer in the field of a project?
So that's not part of what we propose. That said, we start to have like a pretty big, let's say, network on the front. If you're interested, come chat with us, and we can see actually if we can redirect you to organizations that work directly with us.
Yeah, do not hesitate to open a ticket, and we will tell the right person to come on this subject. Yeah. Arnaud?
And to bring to give an additional information on this question is, as was said by Guillaume, in the near future, when we will bring the Carbonable DAO, they will have some roles, which in this role you will be able to invest yourself and bring more than just finance this project. So you will be able to invest yourself more than just funding them by participating to the DAO we will put in place.
Yep.
Perfect.
I have literally 2 minutes after
an
important call.
Yeah, we are finishing. I think last question when farming, but we answered already.
Perfect.
So yeah, we can close this community call. A huge thanks to you guys and to the newcomers. Do not hesitate to come back to the next one and to keep up to date. Tomorrow we will announce the next project. So yeah, a lot of things are coming this month. Yeah. The final words,
a real warm thank you to all of you, to everyone present at this call. Much appreciated. As we say, the door is open. Questions, suggestions, etc. And yeah, stay connected tomorrow with the announcement and yeah, very pumped with what's coming. Thanks all, and thanks Romain for organizing all of this.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. A huge thanks to everyone. Arnaud, Guillaume, thanks you for coming and to participate in this community call. And we'll try to do one maybe before the next mint, I guess.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No time release. Wait until tomorrow. See you guys soon. Enjoy.
Perfect. See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
See you.